country. And, he was just sitting there, listening, music, I guess, in his cab of his truck. He just happens to notice this weird light and out of his cab window. And he pulls over and he notices, this is what he told me he saw, a cow going head first up in the sky. Now, there was no tornado. He didn't see any ropes or chains or anything, but he saw this cow going up, and it really shook him up. He said so much where the next day he told his boss, I'm not going to do any more long hauls. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard cases like that. Not only cows.
Yeah, maybe people. That would scare me enough, if you saw something like that happening, it really would open your eyes up, just like if this strange things like what I saw in the desert that time or what other people have seen. I mean, it's unaccounted for. And then it makes you think, like there has to be life out there. I will say this is getting down towards the end. I took a break out of broadcasting for a while, and I managed a chain of professional camera stores for a while. And the owner of the stores decided to import these Czechoslovakian and Russian and whatever infrared, binoculars. And they were, very, very popular for a while. And, people were buying them, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take a pair home. And it was a clear night. So I went out, and I started looking at the skies with these infrared binoculars. And I started seeing some weird things, like things moving and stopping and turning and going a complete different direction. I knew that no satellite could do that. No comet or asteroid could do that. And that was really weird. So one of our regular customers was, the astronomy group out of Puyallup, Washington, the observatory. They came in, one of the director, and I said, hey, this is what I saw with these. So I let him borrow a pair over the weekend. He came back, and virtually every member of that group bought a pair because they started seeing the same thing I seen.
Wow. Yeah, a lot more stuff is out there than people realize. It's not hard to see a UFO if you really want to buckle down and see one. I never saw anything, my whole life, and started researching this stuff, started having sightings really immediately because I wanted to. I wasn't satisfied with just reading about this stuff, and I wasn't satisfied to just hear from the abductees. I wanted to see this stuff with my own eyes, and it didn't take that long before I started to have some sightings. And I don't know, it's weird, because in some cases I feel like I was targeted. Certainly, I remember 1992 or so, and I, really just started researching heavy duty around that time. I'm driving home one evening in late July. It's nighttime, driving slow down through Woodland Hills on a side street, probably 15 miles an hour, when this ball of light comes dropping out of the sky, and instantly it's right in front of my car. I thought, this is a bird. No, it's obviously not a bird. It's a golf ball, but it's floating, and it's a ball of light. And it moved back and forth in front of my windshield maybe 2-3 times, not a lot, but close, and just dipped down a little bit and then went straight up and gone. And I'm like, wow, what the heck was that? And forgot about it, didn't talk about it, didn't even think about it for a couple of years, until one day I'm like, hey, what the heck? I saw that. And sort of, like you said, it leaves your mind.
It does.
It's hard to explain to people. I've certainly had people tell me this, but when it happened to me, I finally understood.
Well, it makes you realize there's things out there, and if people out there have any infrared binoculars or anything, go out there some night when it's totally clear and get away from light pollution if you can. And just, don't use a telescope, but use those and kind of look up there, and you're going to see some strange things. You're going to see satellites naturally. You're going to see other stuff, but you're going to see things zigzagging every which way. And that's when I really realized there is things out there that either our government's not telling us or it's not from our planet.
Right. Well, right now someone's seeing a UFO. Right now someone's being abducted at this moment. If you look at the statistics for the National UFO Reporting Center in MUFON, they get multiple reports daily. And we know as researchers that most people aren't reporting their encounters, especially if they're intense. So, maybe 1 in 10 at the most report their sightings. It's really closer to 1 in 100. So if they're getting, 10, 20, 30 reports a day, we can times that by, 10 at least, which is 300, possibly a lot more than that daily.
Oh, yeah.
So, California alone gets sightings daily.
Now, that's the scary part. So I don't know. Again, people being abducted, and returned back to their bed or whatever, or they're taken from the, like Greys come walking in their bedroom and all of a sudden they're on a spaceship being examined. But I'm just wondering how many people get abducted and then all of a sudden they're not returned for some reason or not.
Yeah, there's been some talk about that recently, and the people disappearing in the forests and in the woods, and David Paulides, I talked to him. He's kind of a researcher into this area, and a lot of missing people. And is there a UFO connection? Gosh, in most of these cases, it's not really coming out super strong, so we don't know, but it's absolutely possible. I do know of a couple of observed abductions where people were abducted and not returned. There was a case in Hobbs, New Mexico, where a family watched the husband, the father, get pulled up into a UFO, and he was never returned. In that case, comes from Leonard Stringfield, a good investigator. And there are other cases like that. This happened a lot with the military in the 50s when they'd send off pilots to intercept these objects. We know the case of Felix Moncla over Lake Superior. I think that was in the late 50s. They watched his blip on his plane merge with a UFO, and he was never seen from again.
And no wreckage or anything.
Right. A lot of cases like that. So, this clearly does happen. And I really wonder what happens to these guys. Gosh, that's got to be crazy, spending the rest of your life, however long it is, with the ETs on board a UFO.
Yeah, well, hopefully,
wherever they're taken.
Well, hopefully it's not one of the ETs that kind of look at us as a Big Mac, too. That's what Mary Joyce said, that there was a species of aliens that are on our planet that are cannibals, and they, are working, she claims, with the government, on a secret underground base, but they do fancy humans, and I guess with their technology, the story is what she heard from somebody. It had a government, high clearance, is that they're giving us technology and helping us, but in return, they get a little bit of, what. I don't know if it's true or not. You know how rumors go flying, but I wouldn't want to be the one to find that out.
No, that's horrific, and I've heard that certainly, but not from anyone I've talked to. Only as a rumor. I'm not sure where those are coming from. But, yeah, that's horrific. I certainly hope that's not the case. I've never heard of that in terms of, Greys or reptilians even, or the Nordics. And we don't know a whole lot about how these guys get their nourishment. As far as the Greys, there does seem to be some evidence that they rub this stuff on their skin, this sort of a protein lotion, and absorb food that way. As far as the Nordics, they haven't been seen eating a whole lot. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The mantids, I really don't know what these guys eat. I do know one case, this is in my book, Inside UFOs, where a Navy corpsman, a medic, was invited aboard, really, a UFO and saw a 15-foot-tall praying mantis and was able to converse with them. And they told him all kinds of stuff, that they're working with multiple governments on our planet, all the major governments. They can speak all the different languages. They warned him about nuclear proliferation and said that all these disasters would happen. They said that they don't eat humans, that they eat, fruits and vegetables and fish and things like this, grains. So that's one of the only few cases I know or I've ever heard of where ETs have said what they eat.
Of course, I don't think they would admit if they did eat humans, say, hey, we eat you guys. I don't know. Hey, I can say, Preston, I really enjoyed having you on here. A lot of people have been messaging me while you've been on. They really liked what you had to say. Now, how can people find you? How can they find your books? How can they find your website? And where places they can find you?
Hey, yeah, I appreciate that. I do have a website. If you just do a search on my name, the actual website address is PrestonDennett.weebly.com. And yeah, I got all my books there, excerpts, and you can purchase my books on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or other online websites. And if you want to contact me, I always love hearing from people, whether it's a story or a comment, or if they have a story they want to share, you can contact me through my website. And yeah, I really appreciate you having me on the show. It's been a blast.
Well, I really enjoyed it, Preston. And, actually, don't be surprised in the next week or two if Michael W. Hall gets a hold of you, because he is my Saturday, because I'm not on the weekends, and he fills in for me on Saturdays with the show. And, he has Peter Davenport coming on like the first 10 to 20 minutes giving out reports, which that has gotten really scary because they've gotten more intense in the past year.
Yeah, well, I'm always happy to talk about this subject. I think it's a really important subject.
Well, sir, you have a great week, and I have a great new year, and hopefully we get some disclosure even a little bit this year.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay, my friend. Well, thank you for being on Night Dreams Talk Radio.
Hey, pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's the part that really kind of scares me yet. I'm still not convinced that all the aliens visiting Earth and doing implants and all that stuff are still the lovable creatures that people talk about. Because you know what? If they really were here to help mankind, why would they be abducting people? And taking them aboard and doing things without their permission. I mean, if you took your neighbor's wife and abducted her, you'd go to prison. And you certainly would be arrested, I guarantee you that. So what gives them the right to come down to abduct us or put an implant or examine us or remove or anything off of a human body? That really, really makes me nervous. And yeah, maybe there is aliens that are here trying to steer us the right direction. Help us along the right path. But lately, the right path has gotten really scary. Well, anyway, I want to again thank Preston Dennett for being on our show tonight and talking about like underwater UFO bases, talking about UFOs, aliens, abductions, and all that stuff. Again, check out his website. He has some really good books on the UFO topics. Anyway, we're going to be back again tomorrow. Great shows all week long. Tell your friends about Night Dreams Talk Radio. Share us on your media. That's very important. And let friends know about us. That's how we keep growing. And, again, you can hear us live at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. You'll hear replays on virtually all the apps, and it's free to listen to us. Even on our website, you can go back and you can listen to, 332 hours of previous shows for free. We don't charge you anything. You don't have to buy a membership to listen to any of the shows. I feel on Old Time Radio, it should be free. So I will never charge anybody to listen to any of our old shows. And if you also go on to Spreaker Radio, we're live there also. Hit the like button on there. And if you want to even donate $1 or $2 to help pay for our bandwidth, you can certainly on our website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Hey, hit the donation button, give us $1 or $2. What can I say? Tonight was a good show. And we'll be back tomorrow. So everybody, take care.
The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition or give any medical or legal advice. You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.